In honor of my father's Yartzeit, I would like to share with you a quick thought. It's hard to imagine that we are actually here once again at this time of year, but yesterday we went to the Kosel, and on our way back we ran into a young man who was a prior student of mine. And often as we go to the Kosel, it's a great time to run into people. So this young man was very excited to see me, and he said, "Rabbi Kosovsky, it's so good to see you. It's been so long." He said, "I want you to know that when you left school and we moved away and we're no longer with there," he said, "that's when I stopped going to school." He didn't quite explain why, but we had a very good relationship, even though he was a very challenging student. I remember him being in the office many times, and he had so many unique stories and individual challenges. He was a good kid, but school wasn't exactly his cup of tea, and I worked with him a lot. And I tried to support him to the extent that I could. But you never know what those things mean to students until years later. And here he said that what I was able to do for him and provide for him and understand him made it that he was able to still be in school. And when he felt he didn't have that support anymore, he was no longer able to be in school. And it struck me the following thought, that oftentimes what makes the greatest impact on a person is when they are no longer expecting you to accept them, or they feel that you won't like them anymore and you like them anyways, and you give them respect and you give them time and attention that they appreciate it so much. And that has happened many times where I've had students who are not succeeding or were having difficult times or misbehaving, and when you care for them anyways and you reach out to them and you support them anyways, that those are the students who years later remember you fondly and think of you with tremendous affection. So I remember, as particularly, after my father passed away, there were so many people that reached out to us and shared such profound emotions. And you could see the level of connection that they had with my father was quite remarkable. And there are probably any number of qualities or elements that attribute to that. But it occurred to me that one of those things was that he was a rabbi. He was their rabbi, and often the rabbi of their shul, who they went to for counsel and for guidance. But my father also had this ability to really be their friend. And he would go to their homes and he would interact with them. And he had no airs about him. But he was able to have this dissonance. He was able to be the rabbi who was their guide and also be their friend, but a real friend, and connect with them on a very profound level. And I think that dissonance really made an amazing impact, an impression on them, and there are people who were connected to him and devoted to him in a way that I have not seen with many other people. And I believe that this is part of it, that he had this ability to be in two worlds. He could be the rabbi, but he could be a close friend. And this reminded me something that I saw in the Rambam. The Rambam says if a person wants to acquire Abba Hashem, one of the ways to do that is to think about the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the godless of Hashem. That Hashem is the all-powerful, the Kol Yochel, the creator of the world. And we are so low compared to that. We are so insignificant. And despite that tremendous difference and distance, Hashem still wants us. Hashem still relates to us. Hashem still wants our mitzvahs and cares about us. And when we realize that Hashem, who's greater than anything else in the world, still cares about us and wants us and desires our avodah, that creates an Ahavas Hashem. And I realized that that's obviously on a much more grand level, but the same thing we were talking about where my father was able to make that connection to people is despite the difference. And being the rabbi, he was a friend. So, Abba, on this day, the 25th day of Nisan, we remember you, we miss you, we love you. And we ask that just as you were able to traverse those tremendous differences between one person and another, may you continue to be able to traverse those distances and be a Melitz Yosher for us, for Simcha Dov, and for all of us, your friends and family, but also for Klal Yisrael, and ask Hashem to end this craziness and finally bring the Gula Shlema. We'll see the Refuahs and the Yeshuas and the Nechamais, and once again we'll be able to be together.